Hi, welcome to the MS Ignite Community Reporter channel. I'm Rik Hepworth. Sat next to me is Varnika, who is one of our student diversity ambassadors, and we're going to talk to you for a few minutes about getting the most out of the expo and navigating the expo. So Varnika, have you had a chance to explore and find the best swag?
Yeah, I actually explored a little bit yesterday, and let me say, there's a lot going on, but that also means that there's a lot of opportunities to get the free stuff. Swag
Cool.
is really good. For me, I was mostly drawn to like the ones with like more unique like presentations. Like there was one with like a huge robot, and it was like I wasn't expecting that when I walked by. And also, it was just me bouncing around trying to find like things that kind of pulled me in, and what I found would be either interesting or something that I haven't heard before. But no, there wasn't really like a method. I don't think I've looked at all the booths yet. Hopefully I will, but it was just like going around trying to find stuff that really pulled me in.
Cool. So, I hate to use the word old, but as an old pro, I like to be quite methodical about these things.
Okay.
So I've had a few conversations with people over today and yesterday, and this place is so huge they get lost.
Yeah.
So what I've found actually is I like to start right here near where we're sitting with the Connect Community Central entrance. So you come in Hall C, start here, turn left and walk to the expo.
Yes.
And then if you actually look at it, there's a really well-designed pattern to it. Mm-hmm. So we've got sponsors and exhibitors around the outside,
Mm-hmm.
and the Microsoft stands are in the middle.
Okay.
And the Microsoft stands are around this sort of wonderful lighting globe.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging above, we've got 4 quadrants for developer tools and a couple of other things. They're the big headline areas, if you like.
Yeah.
If you look below those, we've got like a sub-navigation of different areas. So we've got
Okay.
modern workplace or security.
Mm-hmm.
And then below that, each of the different stands has their own name on them. So what I like to do is I do a reconnoiter first. So I go and I have a good wander around and I find what all of the expo halls, the suppliers are like, the stands are like.
Okay.
And I sort of make a mental note then of where people are. Because if you don't do that, you don't know who's here. So Docker, for example, the Docker guys have got a tiny stand out the back. But they're really important. We all want to go talk to them, right?
Yeah.
And then with the Microsoft ones, having worked out where they all are, then as I go through sessions, I start to build this mental checklist of who I want to go talk to and who I want to ask questions of. And I've now got this mental map of how I can navigate.
Mm-hmm.
And importantly, having got that mental map sorted, when it comes to the back end of the week and all the swag's out, then you can be really organized about working your way around.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you mentioned the pink robot, which is totally cool. That one threw me when I walked in there. Are there any stands that you want to call out for? Were they really nice to you, or do they have great swag, or were they, big brands that you knew?
So there was one with Lenovo and Intel together. They actually did like a magic show.
Oh, really?
Which was really interesting. It brought in, it was one of the reasons I stopped there in the first place was they were doing like some card magic and like simple magic, but it was just pretty interesting in like a tech conference for them to do that.
That's
That was
awesome.
really cool.
So as an old guy, I'm an IT pro. And the Lenovo stand caught my eye, the Dell stand caught my eye, because they've got servers.
Yes.
And you can sort of walk up and they'll take the lid off and you can look at all things inside, and that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, different reasons we went there, but same.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah. So you're not into hardware then?
It's cool. But I mean, Lenovo was like a brand that I was interested in talking to too, but it was really cool.
So have you spoken to any of the guys on the Microsoft stands? You talked to any of them at all?
Yeah, I got to talk to, over here I got to talk to SharePoint people. They're doing the really cool thing with the VR and the putting like more of that experience into SharePoint, which was really interesting because I've only used SharePoint for like PowerPoints with like group projects in school.
Okay.
So that was interesting trying out that stuff. I mean,
So
VR is always cool.
Do they have the SharePoint workspace thing in the expo as well then? Because the SharePoint workspace, they've got some just over to the right
So
of
they
where
have
we
some
are.
here.
in the
They have a
community.
tinier thing over there, but the experience I did was over in past Microsoft Learn area. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Varnika, thanks very much for joining me for this
Yeah.
short guide to the expo. Thank you, and just remember, go and ask sensible questions and be nice to the guys on the stand, because all they do is stand up, and by the end of the day they're really tired, and they love it if you rock up all enthusiastic and ask great questions. Have a good time.